13th, and this is vlog number 2. Today we'll be talking about contact juggling and the introduction to getting started. Okay, so my first exposure to contact juggling is when I was street performing in Covent Gardens in London, England. Well, back then I didn't have a lot of money, hence my street performing career. And I saw this guy who was also street performing, but he was doing it with these crystal balls. It was just magical. He was floating them around, he was moving them in space, he was making them spin and float and all this magical stuff. Well, I thought to myself, oh, it'd be a while for me to purchase one of these. So I thought I'd play along with a ball that I did have. So I found a hockey ball, a street ball. And what I did was I sliced it open and I put some sand into it, filled it all up. Then I closed it again and resealed it with crazy glue or a hot glue gun. And from there I got the weight that I was looking for, and I just got a ball that I was able to just kind of toss around and drop if I had to, especially I was practicing. Now there are many different types of balls that you can work with. You could do that with a hockey ball, or you could do that with a tennis ball, and you could do the same thing by filling it all up. A good idea is actually once you've filled up, for example, a tennis ball, you should wrap it up with electric tape so it's one solid color. And the reason for that is you don't want to create a pattern. A pattern creates or loses the illusion that it's floating or that it's stuck in space and it's just that one object. Like, look at this tennis ball, for instance. If I were to spin it, you could see the lines moving. That's the same thing of if you have, you can't really see it on this, but maybe this little hockey ball here, what they call is a tell mark. And a tell mark will tell you that the ball is moving. So if you do something like this, you may not be able to see it that well in the video, but I can see that it looks like this dot is moving around in a circle as my hand is doing the same thing. So the best things, if you do get one of these crystal balls or any of these solid color balls, try to keep it clean. Now, onto the illusion. So I'm going to use one of my favorite balls. It's a red ball. And I want you to hold it so that the ball is not touching your palm. Is actually in your fingertips, okay? And I want you to hold it so it's just right where your belly button, just a little bit above your belly button and below your chest. Your elbow is bent, your wrist is nice and relaxed, and the rest of your body is nice and relaxed. Your feet are about shoulder width apart, and your shoulders are down and just relaxed. You can shake it out. Now we're going to imagine this ball is attached to a doorknob that's attached to a door. So if this is where the doorknob is, this ball is rotating. So I want you to just rotate the ball so that your fingers go along the right and the left side of the ball. Now, keep the ball in the same place, the same height off the ground, and the same distance from the walls on your left and your right. Just think of a reference point. Know where it's located on your body, and just try to keep it there. The slower the better. Now the second trick, I'm just going to move to the side so you could see it, is the ball is still in my hands just as I had started with the last trick, but it's a continuation. I'm going to actually now put the axis so it's through my thumb and my index finger. So that's where that little doorknob is, and I'm twisting the doorknob this way. Okay? So your wrist is bending over and behind it. So it goes in the front and the back. My elbow is just following whatever my wrist is doing. My shoulder is still relaxed. And my fingers are gripped onto the ball nice and lightly, just enough to hold onto the ball. The idea is to keep the ball right in the same height and same distance from your body. So this is a no-no. Some people do this. Now lastly is a third trick, which is to add to this illusion that it's stuck in space, and it's to go all the way around. So I'm just going to face you. It's just like drawing rings of Saturns with your wrist all the way around the ball. Just like that. My arm is relaxed, and it's just like a joystick. My wrist is just making the moves. Now we're going to try this trick. So put the ball in your right hand. So I'm just mirroring you. So obviously it's in my left hand. So what we're going to do is just, once you've gotten the hang of doing that full rotation, You could be creative in going left and right if that's as far as you can go, or if you want to go forward, back as far as you can go, or you can just slightly move it so that it has that nice global rotation. And the isolation is making sure that it stays in the same height, the same distance from your body. Now, this is the next challenge, is to create a box. And this is a little bit of mine combined with it. We're going to pretend like we have a string or a stick which is attached to our ball. And our hand, from the distance from the ball to our hand, is the same at all times. What we're going to do is I'm going to grab a pretend stick and I'm going to pull it. Doom, and I stop. Stop. And then I start again. So I start isolating it by rotating it. Then I'm going to get that invisible string and I'm going to pull it. Doom, stop, and then it moves that way. Now instead of that string, this time I'm going to push it. Let's try push. So hand is out here and we're just going to push it. You can even make those sound effects. I like using it because it gives me that idea of it sliding in space. So I'm going to do it like this. And I'm going to pull it. 1, 2, 3. Good. 1, 2, 3. Good. 1, 2, 3. Good. 1, 2, 3. Last time, 1, 2, 3. I'm pushing it down. Very good. So be sure to try that with the other hand. You can definitely reach over and cross over. Boom. You can even go diagonal. You can go zigzag and back down. If you're right-handed, start with your left hand, and that will train your brain to start working out the kinks, because that's kind of hard, right? And the minute you get onto your right hand, everything just is so much easier. And do it the opposite if you're left-handed. There are 2 websites I want you to check out. The first one is www.contactjuggling.org. This is where I get a lot of my information from. And they share videos and photos, and you can even find out ways of how to get your own balls online or where you can pick them up in your local area. The second one is www.ministryofmanipulation.com. This one is actually just for fun. I love watching the videos here because it inspires me to do a lot of new tricks. It's not necessarily just contact juggling, but it's other objects like hacky sacks and hoops and balls and cigarette boxes. For the next couple of weeks, I challenge you to do this for at least 5 minutes a day. Start by just doing it, by moving it in its place, and go from straight lines to maybe arches. Boom. Moving it slowly through space and stopping it. And then moving it, stopping it, pulling it, and stopping it. We can go in zigzag, diagonals, squares, whatever you want. Be creative. It's all about you and what you want to do in your own expression. I just taught you simple tools. For 5 minutes a day, you'd be surprised what you're going to come up with. So, there's 3 things you'll have to remember. You definitely need patience, because it is going to be hard. You need to practice. And last of all, you need perseverance. Perseverance means to never give up. And by the end of it all, you'd be really good and even surprise yourself. Alright, send me your comments, your ideas, and new tricks that you might have found on your journey in discovering contact juggling. And I'll see you in the next vlog. See ya!